Hi, I'm Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman magazine with your video fishing forecast for the 4th of July holiday weekend. Going to start off in Connecticut, where fluke fishing in Long Island Sound continues to improve, and we received reports of solid catches being made all week. I received a great note from new Fisherman subscriber Dave Grigorski. This self-proclaimed fluke junkie put his new subscription to the Fisherman magazine to good use as he devoured his new Master Angler fluke fishing book, found the Lucky Lady charter boat sailing out of Clinton, Connecticut in our weekly fishing reports, and bagged a mess of fine flatties, including a double header weighing in at 5.2 and 3.4 pounds. Now that's a case of someone putting their Fisherman magazine subscription to good use. Also on the fluke scene, there's been some pretty good bite going on in the deep waters off of Niantic. Sydney Bakewell and her father were fishing around Bartletts Reef and put together a good catch of fluke with more than enough keepers mixed in with some just shorts. Like I noted in last week's video, the fish that come in just shy of the minimum size should be keepers by the end of the season, so this bite should remain strong for the entire summer. On the striper side of things, I'm receiving some mixed reports, with some anglers doing quite well and others having a tough go at it. One guy that's doing extremely well is Fisherman contributor Captain Mike Roy of Reelcast Charters. He's been slamming some big striped bass in eastern Long Island Sound on live bunker. For example, on one of his outings this week, he left the dock with 48 baits, and his two clients fed every single one of them to a big bass. Over in Rhode Island, fluke fishing remains very good as well, and I received a picture of 10-year-old Morgan Lowing's 7.04 pound fluke that she landed while fishing with her dad, Mike, on their family boat, Hook'em. This holiday weekend weather is looking nice, so if you don't have your own boat, then I strongly suggest hopping aboard one of the many charter boats sailing in Rhode Island for fluke. The Rhode Island boats have always also been doing quite well, making the steam out past block to the canyons when the weather allows for it, and booked off charters made a run last week and got into a good bite of bluefin tuna on the troll. Then, on the way back to the dock, they stopped off to jig for cod at one of the captain's good spots, and they landed 7 keepers and a 15-pound pollock. Now that's how you put together a nice mixed bag trip. Also on the offshore scene, John Sikoski and the Turnpike crew, Sean Foley, Tate Walker, and Jan Sikoski, landed a 250-pound thresher shark fishing near Jenny's Horn, south of Block Island this week. They were fishing aboard John's boat, the Hyper Striper, and made the ride all the way down from western Massachusetts. Up in Mass, the sea bass bite in Buzzards Bay has been lights out and be a great way to spend this holiday weekend. And not to be outdone by her dad's thresher noted in the Rhode Island report, Shania Sikoski caught a huge 23-inch, 5+ pound black sea bass this week. The bite has been slowly moving to somewhat deeper water as the fish are entering post-spawn mode, but the action has not let up one bit. Then north of Cape Cod in the Gulf of Maine, bottom fishing is downright awesome these days, despite the cod closure. The Yankee fleet has been doing extremely well on both their single-day trips as well as the multi-day overnight trips, with lots of haddock, pollock, redfish, and cusk being caught. They're also averaging at least 1 keeper halibut per trip, and that in itself is worth the price of admission this weekend. So there you have it. I'm Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman magazine, wishing you tight lines this weekend on the great 4th of July holiday.
To receive the latest fishing reports, subscribe to the Fisherman's YouTube page. Click subscribe, then click the settings button and check Send Me Updates. You'll now receive notifications of the latest Fisherman YouTube videos and reports. If you're already a subscriber, make sure you've checked Send Me Updates in the settings so you receive the latest notifications.